Hello there, my name is Laz Manish, and this is my presentation on how to film a fight scene for Full Sail University. Now, last summer I produced an indie film called Kinetic Chronicles for my sci-fi book, Kinetic Alliance. Um, I learned a lot of things on how to film and how to film a fight scene and everything like that. This is the cast that I had to work with. There's a lot of actors, some backstage people. We did it in just a few short months, so like I said, I had to learn a lot to film this. So I'm here to share some information with you. Now, some of the things that we're going to go over in the process is things like equipment. We're also going to go over the casting selections that you have, some fight choreography. I'm going to show you guys, how to do continuity, how to focus on continuity, and also some editing tips and tricks. Now, first up is equipment. Now, there's a lot of equipment that goes into filmmaking. As you can see from this picture that I provided, um, a lot of stuff goes into just capturing the moment. Now, being an indie filmmaker, I didn't have a lot of this equipment. I pretty much just had a handheld camera and a tripod and maybe some sound equipment, but that's about it. Um, some of the casting options that you do have, if you're looking to make a film and not just a fight scene, you might want to go with actors and teach them the fight stunts and everything like that, and hope for the best. If you're looking to just make a fight scene or a series of fight scenes, you might want to go with stunt people. They know what they're doing, they have experience, and it's just easier to teach them that way. Fight choreography. This is myself with my cousin doing the early fight choreography for the film. There's several fights in the film. Now, this is one of the more important things to do. Uh, Without fight choreography, things could get dangerous, and you really want to make sure that you have every punch and kick down for safety reasons. Now, the continuity of the film. It's very important. This is basic filmmaking stuff. But for fight scenes, you want to have the proper camera angles. You want to have the action facing the camera and going away from the camera. You want to focus on the 180 rule. You want to look at negative space and the rule of thirds and changing POVs and everything. It's all very important. Now, camera angles. Camera angles are very important. You have to get shots that don't really make sense to include in the fight scene in post production to make it flow a little better, like punches coming towards the camera and like away from the camera, and making sure that you have the right camera angle to really sell the punch. Now the 180 rule. The 180 rule is your field of vision is at a 180-degree angle, and you need to make sure that when you're capturing it, the camera is the eyes of the audience, and you want to make sure that you don't cross over and film the other side, because then it causes confusion and everything like that. So make sure you stay on the right side of the 180 line. Rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is more of a photography rule, but for filmmaking, it has the same principle. If you want a dynamic shot that captures emotion and really drives a scene, you want to keep in the rule of thirds. Now, most cameras have the grid in there, so it's a really easy rule to follow. Negative space. Negative space in the filmmaking, it really sets a scene for emotion. It directs the scene a lot better. If you have like an open space, you could see that our actor there is he's alone. He's by himself, and there's a forced perspective behind it. Now, editing. Editing is probably the longest process you could ever do in filmmaking, and there's so many different things that you could do, but I'm going to try to go over some important ones. Um, First up is removing a frame. Now, removing a frame is the simplest, really easiest thing to do. As you can see in our pictures here, that we obviously removed the frame from the first to the second, and you can see in the third that it sells the impact of the punch. Because it kind of goes faster. It doesn't skip at all because it's only one frame. It's like 1/60th of a second, and it really sells the punch and really sells the impact. So it's a very important tool. Now, special effects. Even though you don't have like superpowers with your characters or anything like that, special effects is still a very important thing. Now, if you look at the movie Sin City, nobody had superpowers, but the cinematic of the movie was very, had a very artistic look, and it was all captured with special effects. So keep in mind special effects you might need. Slow motion. Slow motion is a very important tool in the post production, because as you could see, now our actors didn't really get punched that hard, it didn't fall, but using slow motion on key points, it really helped sell the impact of the punch. So it's very important that you utilize this tool. Sound effects. Now, sound effects really don't make these kinds of noises in real life. You know, when you punch someone, it's just a punch. You know, it really doesn't make that much sound. But using these sound effects that like the ooh and the grunts and everything like that really sold the fight. It really felt like people were really getting hit, and it looked really good. Scoring is very important. You can actually sync up the whole fight scene to a specific song. So like every time someone gets punched, it goes to the beat of the song, which is people don't realize it at first, but they enjoy it a lot more that way. And also it really sets the mood for the fight scene. Up next is color correction. As you can see on the left, the picture is a lot more cinematic. It has it couples with continuity really, because when you're filming, you don't really film at the same day, and the different weather, different sunlight, and everything like that. So color correction fixes all that, and it looks like everything happened at one time. As you can see on the picture on the right, it doesn't look right. Now a recap of everything we went over. We went over equipment, on how much there is and how much you really don't need, but it's good to have. Casting, you have the difference between an actor and a stunt person. Fight choreography, continuity, post-production, all the things that you have in post-production. This is all really, really important. And finally, thank you very much for taking your time to watch my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And unfortunately, there's a lot more things that go behind filming a fight scene than what I just covered. And unfortunately, I only have 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And I just want to say thank you for watching.